Father Hollowell and I are distributing a small little document that we've written. It's entitled Some Helpful Clarifications to Liturgical Norms. As some of you know, we might celebrate Mass here at All Saints, and the other three parishes in Dearborn County may be a little bit different than as you see visiting other parishes across the country. And we just want everyone to always know why we're doing what we're doing. And so this little document will hopefully bring some attention. Whenever we've made any adjustments to the liturgy, to the Mass, to the Holy Sacrifice, we have always done a lot of catechesis, a lot of instruction, but we realize that that's happened a lot over the last 10 years that I've been here in Dearborn County, and Father Meyer and Father Hollowell as well. And so we wanted to kind of put everything concisely into one place so that if you have questions, you can find answers. If you're new to our parish community, you also would not have received that catechesis, that formation previously. There's also one aspect that we just wanted to verbalize this weekend. So Father Hollowell is making these announcements and passing out this document as well in the South. And that's just in reference to the use of Latin during Holy Mass, which is the newest adjustment that we've been making here. And just to make sure that we kind of all understand where we're at, why we are making these adjustments and making those shifts. And I think when we look at the use of Latin in Mass, a great question is not being asked because we're often asking the wrong question. So the question that a lot of people are asking are, why are we using Latin at Mass? And that's really the wrong question. The right question is, why are we using English at Mass? We are Roman Catholics, we are Latin Rite Catholics, and thus the mother tongue of the Catholic Church is Latin. All official documents and teachings of the Vatican are in Latin. And so, at the Second Vatican Council 50 years ago, the ability to say Mass in English was given, but the mother tongue of our church is Latin. And so the question that really should be asked is, why do we use English? But the problem that's happened in the last 50 years is that Latin almost has been completely excluded from the Mass itself. Let's talk real quick about what it is to be an immigrant. Many of you are like myself, you're immigrants of people that came here from Germany. And what happens normally in just one or two generations is that the children no longer know their mother tongue. This is happening right now as people are flooding into America that speak Spanish. Is within just one or two generations, none of them any longer, their children, their grandchildren no longer speak English. So no longer speak Spanish, they only speak English. And it's almost like a rebellion against their parents. And this is really kind of, I think in a certain sense, what happened is that now we have generations of Catholics, particularly about 2 or 3 generations, that do not know Latin at all. What's interesting is this: what has been retained in a foreign language in the Mass that is normative. So for example, if I start singing Alleluia, Alleluia, no one says, Father, stop singing Hebrew. If I was to sing Kyrie eleison, no one says, Father, stop singing Greek. But for some reason, we've allowed Greek and Hebrew to be a part of our celebration as Catholics, but we've pretty much excluded the use of Latin. So the Second Vatican Council, so this is a direct quote from the document on the liturgy, says this: care must be taken to ensure that the faithful may be able to sing or say together in Latin those parts of the ordinary of the Mass which pertain to them. I'll repeat this again. Care must be taken to ensure that all of the faithful, raise your hand if you're part of the faithful. So what are Father Hollowell and I, we're just taking care that all of the faithful may be able to sing or say together in Latin those parts of the ordinary Mass which pertain to them. The reality is that the pendulum swung so far the other direction that we don't even know what it is to be Catholic. We don't know what it is to be a Latin Rite Catholic, what it is to be a Roman Catholic. I can tell you that when we went to World Youth Day, and I had 70 young people with me at World Youth Day in Lisbon, I will tell you that it was beautiful that this group of 70 people were able to sing the Latin parts of the Mass. That in a foreign country, we were able to participate in a very beautiful way. And so as we continue to just kind of journey doing what God wants of us, because that's what the church wants, that we're just doing with care what is really asked of the whole church. And I realize that other parishes might not be doing this. I realize that other might not be on the same page. Like, I'm just going to say, one day they will be. Like, it's just going to be the case. Because the truth will always win. So, if it may seem that we're leading the way, that's okay. Because someone has to be a leader, right? So just as we continue to receive these things, we do so with charity, with grace. And I thank you for your patience. As a reminder, here at All Saints, if you open your blue hymnal right now, on the inside front cover, you'll see the Sanctus, you'll see the Agnus Dei, okay? So you can pray along, you can sing along, you can read along very easily just by opening the hymnal. That's right there in front of you. So thank you for your attentiveness as we prepare for Holy Mass.